Fertilizers help feed the world, but sometimes they can be costly and tough on soils and waters. What if tiny partners living in the soil could take part on the job? Hi, I'm Elmar, and today we will dig deep in the world of biofertilizers. This is Roots of Renewal, a look at Filipino biotechnology where agriculture meets microbiology. Just like us humans, plants need nutrients to survive. And fertilizers are crucial to replenish essential soil nutrients, which increase crop yields, improve crop quality, and help feed a growing global population. Our team interviewed a Filipino scientist from University of the Philippines who published a study on using bacteria found in the roots of bamboo and corn as an agent for biofertilizer. With her experience and knowledge in the world of research, we asked some questions that could enlighten our views regarding biofertilizers and its significance on our agriculture.
My name is Marian Shello San Diego. So I'm called Shello for short. I'm a microbiologist and mostly my work revolves around microbial biotechnology. So marami na ako naging projects that involve microbial biotechnology, and I think that's one of the yung pag-uusapan natin ngayon. We'll cover that.
Okay po. What is the main goal or problem your research on bamboo and corn aims to address, and how are you approaching it po?
Actually, it doesn't really dwell, yung research namin doesn't really dwell on bamboo and corn per se. It's more on the use or the overuse of chemical fertilizers. Kasi if you overuse it, magkakaroon ng soil toxicity kasi nga you're introducing chemicals to the environment. Tapos, pag nag-umulan or mag-irrigation, pupunta ngayon yun sa water systems natin. And it will cause water pollution as may disruption do sa balance ng soil. So, ang gusto natin talaga ma-achieve is yung sustainable agriculture or sustainable agricultural practices. So, ano ba ibig sabihin nun? It means that we don't want to turn a blind eye dun sa degradation na nangyayari sa environment natin just to produce more crops or just to increase the yield of our crops. So we balance it by preserving the health of the soil na avoid natin yung disruption in the natural ecosystem. So since yung mga mikrobyo na yan, naturally part sila nung ecosystem nung soil, dapat nandun sila. At dapat thriving sila doon. So that's why we are formulating biofertilizers sa mga mikrobyo na na-isolate namin dun sa mga systems na yon. So eventually, we want the farmers to use more of these natural biofertilizers instead of the chemical ones.
Meron din po bang misunderstanding about biofertilizers po na you'd like to clear up?
I think meron ako nabasa. Yung research kasi namin, I'm not sure if nakita nyo, na-post siya sa ibang mga news articles or news portals. May isang comment doon na nagsabi, matagal na yung technology na yan. Bakit pinag-aaksayan pa ng panahon? So, hindi ko naman siya, totoo naman yung sinabi niya. This is not a new technology. However, kailangan kasi natin na i-continue lagi ito. Kasi we want to get the best strains that nature can offer us para ma-expand yung library natin of useful microorganisms. Pwede ko siyang ihalin tulad sa antibiotics. Antibiotics was discovered as early as the early 1900s. But currently, nasa 2025 na tayo. Hanggang ngayon, ginagawa pa rin natin ito. Kasi, bakit? It's our old technology. Kasi pwede ka pa makakuha ng ibang mga mikrobyo na may bago pa lang na produce na mga antibiotics, anti-cancers, or any chemicals that is beneficial for mankind or the environment. So para sa akin, it's the same concept.
How do you see the future of agriculture unfolding over the next decade or two?
So, actually, we are looking towards sustainable agriculture talaga. Hindi lang sa Pilipinas, pero sa buong mundo.
Okay.
Ang ano kasi nito is lumalaki ang populasyon ng Pilipinas at ng mundo, and with the increased population, lumalaki yung food demand. So, kung hindi handa yung agricultural sectors natin for this, diba? Currently, nag-aangkat tayo ng rice sa ibang bansa. Right? So, pag nag-angkat tayo sa kanila at nangyari, hindi rin yung bansa yun, hindi rin nagpa-practice ng sustainable agriculture. Mawawalan sila. Or siyempre, hihinto sila na parang, hindi na namin kaya magbigay sa iba kasi hindi na namin masustain yung amin. Kaya tayo, kuha tayo sa iba. So, ganun, it's a vicious cycle na ang ultimate mangyayari is magugutom yung mga tao. Walang pagkain. So, it should be implemented na yung sustainable agriculture kasi mangyayari magkukulang ang global food chain natin, ang global food supply natin. So it's imperative na kailangan mag-sustainable agriculture.
Parang nabanggit po na need din po ng further testing yung bacteria na nakita kasi may possible diseases po na pwedeng makita. Can you further elaborate po ano po?
Oo. Kasi yung nakuha namin mga mikrobyo we call them opportunistic pathogens. Ibig sabihin ng opportunistic is pwede siya mag-cause ng disease, kunwari sa tao. Yung Staphylococcus aureus na mikrobyo, sa pimple yon kadalasan. Pag mahina yung resistensya ng isang tao, yung Staphylococcus na yon pwedeng mag-elicit ng sobrang response sa katawan natin. Kaya minsan sobrang namamaga, yung ibang tao sobrang namamaga yung pimple nila na hindi na kailangan na mag-antibiotic. Pero may ibang tao na hindi naman ganon. So, bakit nangyayari yon? Opportunistic kasi siya, ibig sabihin yung sobrang na-inflame, mahina yung resistensya ng tao. So, kaya siya naging opportunistic, it had the opportunity to compromise the health of the person kasi mahina. So, ganun yung mga nakuha namin na mikrobyo. And kailangan siya na safety assessment. So, paano namin siya ginagawa? One is whole genome sequencing. So, tinitignan namin yung genes ng mikrobyo. Meron kasi mga genes na we call them antibiotic resistance genes. So, ibig sabihin nun, pag binigyan mo ng antibiotic na resistant siya dun sa sa antibiotic, hindi siya mamatay. So, may mga ganun na case. Ayaw natin yon na i-introduce sa environment. Kasi pwede niya ikalat yon sa ibang mikrobyo na nasa paligid niya. So, what we are doing is sini-screen namin kung talaga bang maipapasa niya itong gene na to sa ibang mikrobyo. Titignan namin yung capabilities depende sa structure ng genome niya. So, ganun yung isa sa ginagawa natin.
What advice would you give to the next generation of scientists, innovators, or students who want to follow in your footsteps po?
Siguro yung never forget the joy of doing science and discovering things. Sa tingin ko kasi ito yung kadalasan nakakalimutan ng mga scientists kasi ang dalas namin nakaka-experience ng failures and rejections. Kasi sa experiment mo pa lang design ka pa lang ng experiment mo, most of that time mag-fail yan. So, dapat as a scientist, sanay ka sa failures, pero it should not bring you down. Kasi alam mo na sa sarili mo na hindi ako titigil hanggat hindi ko nakukuha yung sagot ko dito. Whether ma-prove yung hypothesis ko or hindi, okay lang, basta hindi ko siya tinitigilan. Yung joy na discovering things should always be present sa isang scientist.
We explored how biofertilizers could help both the environment and our Filipino farmers. Sometimes, we misunderstand how things work in the world of scientific research. But today, a fresh view enlightened our eyes. The path ahead is careful and evidence-based, and the potential is real. Maraming salamat. Mabuhay ang mga sayantistang Pilipino. Ambag sa karunungan para sa bayan.